others. So if you caught me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, then you know what I'm doing right now. I am live. I am preparing to go on the ferry very soon. I've got water as opposed to like my regular like bubbly or tea or even my orange juice that I have because I'm out of orange juice. I'm out of milk, and I'm too hyper to drink more tea. So what we are doing right here, what we're doing today, is we are going to look at some of the greatest box sets that were ever made. Some that I think, if you're a cinephile, if you're a cinefanatic, or if you're just a fan, kind of belong in everyone's collection. Now, this is earlier than I normally do a video, so hopefully there'll be some people in here today. Now, some of the movie club in here. If you've watched my tag videos on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, you have no excuse for not being here. Hey Scott, how's it going? We are talking epic box sets today. We are going to deep dive into some of my favorite sets that I have in my collection. So obviously I got one of them recently, and that kind of was the genesis. Hey Isaac, for this whole thing was that I wanted to show off some box sets that I think do belong, like in one way or another, hopefully, hey Merceville, in everybody's collection, and also to give you an idea of like how a couple of these are out of print or hard to find. So I apologize ahead of time for those, but as a cinema completist, if you can find them at a decent price, they are ones that I do recommend. Now, obviously, there's going to be some big, heavy stuff around here. The one that I didn't bring downstairs, which some people would probably be interested in, is and if you've seen the video, if you haven't seen the video, and go look it up afterwards, I've got the Harry Potter, the huge box set that is around like this big, like it's around the size of his case that he carries to go to Hogwarts with, right? So, and it opens up and it's got all these compartments and stuff. And I did, yo Dick Tana, and I did do a video on it earlier, but I wasn't pleased with the way that it was done, so I will do a video on that one again in the near future. So there was a Harry Potter box set that isn't featured in this one. But what I'm going to do is mostly, there's a couple DVD, but most of these are Blu-ray. And these are some of my favorite sets, some that I do think a lot of people like either have or by now. Some of these people are going to have by now. So I'll start out with the most common one that I think everybody pretty much has. And that's going to be like an easy one. So a couple years back, Scream Factory announced something that nobody thought was ever going to be possible because of rights issues and the way that it had been splintered off into different companies. There was one franchise that people kept dreaming about getting like an ultimate box set type of thing. And at the time, I don't think anybody thought there was going to be another one of these films that was going to be great. Anyway, and were we ever surprised recently? But this is the complete, at the time, Halloween set that was put out by Scream Factory. Now, I think this is out of print, right? This is out of print now, but you still can find it like some places, like online, and hopefully not for too big of a price. There's like a smaller version of this. Now, I do want to say, and I did mention this in a previous video on this set, that there is a smaller version of this that that's kind of thinner. You'll find it at a lot of Walmarts and places like that, and sometimes at some secondhand stores. It does not include any of the bonus discs that are in here. And one of the big reasons for getting this set for a lot of people in the day was Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. You could only see that through like pretty much the theatrical cut, which has never been the preferred cut. This is one time that like the other cut, the producer's cut, not the director's cut. The director's an asshole. Was what everybody wanted. And not only did he put out the sixth movie, which you can buy on its own, but they loaded it with features. They loaded it with features. Also, the extra discs on here, like on Halloween 2 and stuff like that, like just much like in the Scream Factory editions when they came out on their own, has a bonus disc with the TV version on it. And there's a few of those on here as well. And there's a great bonus disc because like some of the Anchor Bay Halloweens just really weren't loaded with features, and they did change that with the making of. So the first one that I definitely wanted to show you guys was the what was this one? You're right. Thanks a lot. I didn't notice that. That's because I watched the documentary disc on Halloween 2 recently. Isaac, you have eagle eyes. One thing you notice here is that these discs are black cases. Now, this was the only time I really think that Scream Factory did this. However, Severin noticed the snazziness for sure of the black cases, and Severin is the company that is known for doing the black case releases now, and they do such a good job with them. If you've ever seen any of the recent Severin limited editions with the black cases, they are really cool looking. Anyway, this is the Halloween set, the complete one, and if you're going to get one, it's the one to get. It's worth, even if you can find it at a decent price, it's worth it over the smaller set that came out from Walmart. If that's the only set you can get, the Walmart, the smaller one, grab it. But there is a significant difference. Like, know that going in. If you're a completist and you want to get all the versions of the films, the smaller set doesn't have it. Wait, that would be nice, actually. Hey, Wolf. I know if I get anything particularly wrong or something I don't know, Wolf usually chimes in. So I always like that. He's got the skills. Now, from my dad and my aunt Thelma, actually, were huge fans of Hammer. So when I grew up, when I was growing up, they used to talk about Hammer all the time. My dad would talk about like Christopher Lee and would talk about like Michael Ripper. So I had like a huge Hammer love, even before I'd even bought any Hammer stuff. Now, back in the VHS days when I first started collecting VHS, they had Anchor Bay. And Anchor Bay was when I started recollecting VHS. They had the Anchor Bay like clamshells, and they had all these like Plague the Zombie and Director Prince of Darkness, and all those came out. And inside the cover, there'd be like writing. It was really, really cool. So I never thought there was going to be any like big sets for Hammer. And then I found out about this 21 disc set here from the UK, and this is the Hammer collection, and it's got a ton of films. That one, of course, is a picture from Scars of Dracula, which is one of my favorite Dracula films. Your dad loved Mike Ripper too. See, yeah, it's a dad thing, right? And that's from Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. What does it have on it? Well, I'll just take the book. I won't take the whole thing. So this is the book. This got like a bunch of stuff. Just to let you guys see kind of what it looks like on the inside. There's like, each one of these is a little book which has 5 to 6 movies in each one. So what do we have? So on this set, and they're not all like the Hammer Horde. They're varied, and that's what I really like about this set. So we got things like She, The Nanny, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Plague of the Zombies. Hey, you're clever. Welcome, dude. It's big box time. I think it's still in print. I got mine from Zavvi. I think they redid it, making it like kind of streamlining it a bit, but it has the exact same stuff in it. So check Zavvi and check Amazon.co.uk. But I think Zavvi has it. Rasputin the Mad Monk, The Reptile, The Witches, 1 million years BC. The Viking Queen, Frankenstein Created Woman, Quatermass in the Pit, The Vengeance of She, Quatermass. I hate it when people say Quartermass. That's what that drives me. The Devil Rides Out, Prehistoric Women, Scars of Dracula, and Wolf got set. Perfect. Hey there. Horror Frankenstein. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, Straight into Morning, Fear in the Night, Demons of the Mind. So it's got and To the Devil a Daughter. It's got a bunch of stuff here. There's like cards for the films. This is a really dark one, huh? It's got to be Reptile. Yeah, it is Reptile. And it's really well done. And there are features. They're not featureless. Hey, Hammer. Yep, that's the Hammer set. So just to give you an idea of like what one of these like book things look like. So in case you're curious, and I am going to do this. There's one of the things right here. Oh, Wolf's here a lot, Isaac. So It opens up like this. On the side there, if you look, it'll tell you, like, for instance, in very fine print, let you know things like there's a commentary with Jimmy Sangster on The Nanny. And there's a 57-minute documentary, The Many Faces of Christopher Lee, on Dracula Prince Darkness. And when you open it up like this, kind of, it's book-like. And I do like this. I do think it's a really neat looking set. Me too, actually. There's a lot of movies that I want released on Blu-ray, especially the Hammer stuff, which I'm thinking slowly but surely they will get released. But it makes it hard sometimes when my better half got me this set for like for my birthday one year, when a Hammer movie comes out on Blu-ray, and there's been like, if there's no new features, so that then I got to kind of really hard sell it to my better half that I need to get an upgrade. Thank you, Wolf. See, Scars is one of my favorites, and I was on a couple. I used to be on. I mentioned this earlier. A couple Hammer horror Facebook pages, and I will be blatantly honest. The people that ran a couple of those pages were complete douches. No, there's no sugar coating it. So I didn't stay on them, and one of the things that they would always like get on about was like, they'd always be like, I can't believe you like Scars of Dracula. How can you like Scars of Dracula? It's such a horrible film when Satanic Rites is so much better. So, this one here, I think is this one region 1? Let me see, I don't think so. Is this region free? These were all studio, these are region 2, it looks like it says here. As far as I know, these are all region 2 releases. I'd have to like put them into the disc there to find out. I got a C key, so I usually just put things in the region free one. So I don't normally check unless like, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. It's annoying. I mean, like, everybody's got it. Like, I don't mind. So I rag on Satanic Rites just because of that. But I like all the Dracula films, to be honest with you. Next up is one that a lot of people look at when I'm doing a video. This one is sadly is out of print, and it's probably going to cost a little bit to pick it up. But if you do see this one at a good price, I say snap it up right away. And this one is Region 0, by the way, is a UK release. It is Region 0. And if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you probably notice this box set is in the background. Right on. This is the Russ Meyer collection. And if you have never dived into Russ Meyer's films, you really, really should. And if, for instance, you are somebody that really haven't, I'm sure, who thinks that Russ Meyer's films are just about the cleavage, you really got to look into the set. There's some really, really... Russ Meyer is a guy that Roger Ebert said, this is a paraphrasing a quote, he said that one of the best things you can say about Russ Meyer's is that Russ Meyer's films are that you can watch 5 seconds of any of his movies at any place in any of his films, and you know immediately that it's a Russ Meyer film. Not because there's big-breasted girls in it, but because the way that he does his films are so unique. If this he started out like doing a lot of the what you would call the innocent, kind of like naive little like nudie cuties style films that were so like prevalent in the early days, like the more Mr. T's and even the Handyman, stuff like that. But he soon went into what he would call his more serious era, where he did like kind of a quartet of these more serious black and white films. Things like Lorna, Mudhoney, Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill, and Motorcycle. They're actually oh god, there's a good good podcast that talked about that. They were like kind of his quartet. It was almost like his style of I don't really want to say noir, but more serious films. He was getting into more serious stuff. Uh, he would obviously do like things like Cherry, Harry, and Raquel, and a Vixen, which is one of my all-time favorite Russ Meyer films. And you'll notice that he's putting in like more. He's taking more chances, putting in like more social commentary and stuff in there. The set here, by the way, there was two versions of the set that came out. There are 19 films in this set. The original one of this was a lot thicker and a lot kind of bulkier, and it only had 18 films. This one here actually has 19, as as opposed to the 18 that the other one had. And this is done much like a book. He did write co-write a screenplay with him because Roger Ebert was a huge fan of Russ Meyer, and they became good friends. And I got to make sure there's nothing on here you can't see. So here we go. So just like regular, I have to look because some of these have nudity on them. So guys, I do apologize, but things like, and it's just interesting too to listen to the scores in some of his films from stuff from like past Faster Pussycat Kill Kill to Motorcycle. Motorcycle actually has a really good kind of like twangy guitar score to it. Okay, I'm trying to find a page here where. All right. What's really cool is this is a book that came with it. It has like, if you go through this here, I can't show everyone, but there's posters here for every one of the Russ Meyer's films. There's a bunch of pictures that you don't show when your kids are around, and there's some great like writing on Russ Meyer as well. Anything from Super Vixens to the really uniquely strange Up. That is Up is a really weird film, but it's a really good film. Did somebody Vixen? Well, Super Vixens. There is no Vixens as a film. There is a Vixen. Hey, Jesse. But I do recommend, if you ever get the chance, if you ever find this, go, for a good price. Only 279 pounds. My God, grab it now. It's kind of silly when they do stuff like that. But no, it's a fantastic set. And why has it not come out again? Well, Russ Meyer's estate, unfortunately, are very tight-fisted about about his films. That tends to be like one of Russ Meyer's like penchants. Like, it's good in that they tend to be Amazon-like, right? Like, big breast head, sometimes often tall, but don't like. Like in real life, dude, don't stop at the breast. There's way more to a Russ Meyer film than that. But yeah, they're definitely worth looking into. Cubic Lover, if you've never seen any of his films, no. You're putting an ideology into his films that really doesn't belong there. Now there's like a why would you say that? He was very forward thinking when it came to like to a lot of his work and to a lot of his films. He's one of those directors that I don't think may never get the credit that he deserves. I do think that it's good that he had a good friend in Roger Ebert, who was a movie critic that noticed, that could see beyond the surface and really see what he was doing. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but it kind of sounds like that's what he's saying. But would he have been maybe kind of more of a feminist type? Yeah, probably. A radical? No. But his wife actually worked, and she's a huge part of the success of Russ Meyer, by the way. She worked really hard alongside Russ Meyer with the films that he made. So he had a wife that was working with him as well. But what I say, he was definitely ahead when it came to comes to thinking, and honestly, if that bothers you from Russ Meyer, you may you may have some issues outside of filmmaking. No, in all seriousness, guys, they're just really really fun films, and he discovered Charles Napier, which is awesome. Charles Napier was girlfriend was going to audition for a Russ Meyer film, and she just wanted him to go along with her. Because Charles Napier, you've seen him in Maniac Cop movies like that. He does a lot of films anyway. He's a big guy, right? And Russ Meyer, and then we saw Charles Napier on the set there when Charles Napier's girlfriend, I'm not sure his girlfriend was at that time, was going and was for this role, and he saw Napier and he said, you got a look about you. We could use you. And so you can thank the career of Charles Napier to Russ Meyer, because if Charles Napier's girlfriend didn't go for that Russ Meyer role, he never would be in film right now. An auto release, and this is one of the more beautiful releases. Now this series of movies, this set of films came out twice in the same year. Two competing versions of it came out. One came out from Well Go USA. I bet you know what it is already. And one came out from Arrow. And as the biggest geek from this film series that I think is probably around, this is a movie series that I used to champion on my channel for years, probably since my channel started. And when it came out, I definitely had to have it. And this is the very trippy, unique, nightmarish Phantasm set. Phantasm is one of those films that, much like... Hey, PD, welcome, dude. 3 a.m. I love this. And as a fan of a Phantasm, how can you not want this? Just look. Boy. You can't meh Phantasm, dude. This is my favorite. This is literally one of my favorite franchises. I don't really think it's like weak on like even the last film, which wasn't done by, and that's probably the weakest of the films. It's still like stands out, especially when you take it into a kind of a nightmare world type of like ideology with it. And when you think about Phantasm, when you're watching a Phantasm film, it does remind me too, actually, Warlock. It's kind of like something that you'd see out of a Joe Bob Briggs was big on the Phantasm films, actually. It should come across as a nightmare. It should come across as something that you wouldn't normally see in real life, and as a kid's nightmare too. So especially when you're watching the first film, so it kind of makes sense in a weird way. I'd say give it another shot. Think of it Murdersville when you watch it. Don't think of it as like as a linear film with an ongoing like plot to a specific resolution. I think of Phantasm as almost like a kind of a nightmarish thing to a nightmare, a child's nightmare, and it fits that these creatures look like Jawas from Star Wars. The creepy little creatures from Star Wars. Was it part 2 that they couldn't show? I'm guessing it's part 2, because that had a different a license than the rest of them. But yeah, it's definitely a nightmare style film. Have I watched any Australian TV shows? A few. I've watched a few Australian shows. I watched Headlands, the Australian soap opera. Do you remember that one? I need more Australian stuff in my collection, by the way. But now they're definitely not bad. You cannot like them based on the type of films they are, but you can never call Don Coscarelli's work, bad. You cannot like the films, but his filmmaking style. If you've ever seen John Dies at the End, or you've seen some of these, No, no, you can objectively say you don't like his films, but you can't say that his style of filmmaking is bad. It just isn't for you. I don't like Titanic. It's not. It's the James Cameron movie Titanic. It's not a bad movie. It's not a for me movie. There's a difference. Like look at Bubba Hotep. Would you consider Bubba Hotep a badly done film? Well, maybe some people would. I don't. To each their own. But I just say there's a designation there. Anyway, Wolf, check out Phantasm. Dude! It's like one of Bruce Campbell's best roles. That's the thing, just not for you, right? So this is a Zatoichi set for, if I started a debate, I hope not. Just so you know, before we go any further, uh, me and Cubic Lover have different opinions, but really like Cubic Lover. I think he's a great guy. So just know that ahead of time. The cool thing about watching movies is people have have different opinions, and just because I like it or he doesn't like it, that's it. That's the cool thing about the movie community. It can be all inclusive if you just take it right. He's got a great channel too, by the way. So this is Zatoichi set. So I think we might be on board with this one, right? Exactly. Everybody, if people didn't like the same, if everybody liked the same thing, it'd be pretty boring. So let me take it out. I'll show you guys. It's probably one of the most beautiful sets that Criterion put out until recently. And they did great artwork with this one. So it opens up, and you can see this is the original edition. So it's Blu-ray and DVD. Now I think that, and maybe Cubic Lover might know this, that they put out one afterwards that was like just Blu-ray. But the original edition is, hey Corey, is Blu-ray and DVD. And it is filled with dude, catch you next time. Thanks for coming in, man. Hopefully work goes fast. Yeah, the DVD Blu-ray one. Yeah, I think there is just a Blu-ray one that they put out later on, but you can get mine like yours, Brian, is the DVD Blu-ray edition. It's if you've never seen them, like, oh, this one. What's killer is this one got like a little bit of controversy recently in that it got erroneously, I think, marked down, put on sale from like one site. Okay, and everybody like snapped up. They would say, "Oh my God, the Zatoichi set is going for really cheap," and people like kind of flipped out. My favorite Charles Bronson movie is 10 to Midnight. I'm a huge fan of that film. But they didn't honor the price, actually. The UK said just Blu-ray. Thanks, Marysville. I wasn't sure, but I knew there was one that was. But even so, man, if you can get that on Blu-ray, grab it, especially for a decent price. This is the book that it came with. Again, each film is represented in this book by a particular artist. And to give like just to give you like a quick look. So this is the Tale of Zatoichi right here. And I just go to a random one, and you'll see that it uses very different artwork. That's Zatoichi's Flashing Sword. 20 pounds. Dude, oh, that's a great... Somebody asked me recently about the Last House on the Left set. They said it got expensive in Amazon UK. But it's, if you look at Amazon CA, then the Last House on the Left set from Arrow Video is like $20. Hey, Sasha. So if that's the set you're looking for, just to let you guys know. I'm just, you know me, Wolf, as a guy that loves like revenge films and slasher films. Like 10 to Midnight kind of just hit that special spot for me. Has he made better films? Yes, he has. Is it one of my? Is 10 to Midnight still my favorite one because of this stuff? Yeah, it probably is. It's my most watched one, and I do like the Death Wish films and a lot of his other stuff as well. It's just one that sticks with me. Next up is a slightly heavier one. And it is another Arrow video release. This thing actually comes in decent prices sometimes, so definitely, definitely check it out. The one thing that's cool about 10 to Midnight, it is the exact opposite of his character from Death Wish. His character in Death Wish, like he breaks and he goes around killing, revenge killing. Bronson in 10 to Midnight is a cop that throughout the entirety of the film, I don't want to give away the ending, but throughout the entirety of the film, he does everything he can to play it by the book, to do it straight and to do it right. We know how that culminates if you've seen the film, but next time you watch it, like kind of just look into that fact is that it's such a different. Like people think of it as like almost like the same character, but it's a real dichotomy. This is like your real fave. So this is a Herschell Gordon Lewis set. If you've ever seen any of Herschell Gordon Lewis's stuff, then you know what it is. He's a gore guy. Corey, you probably would love this set. It's really neat. It's done like a cereal box. It's really serious like ingredients. It tells you the films on there, the 14 films. The TCM 4-packs, I love those. Oh, dude, you got the Warlock. Did you get the Epic set? Like the Shock Gore set with the book and the record and everything? That one, that sold out so fast. If you've never seen it, guys, the one that Warlock's talking about, this is a great set. There's even bigger set than this. It is unavailable, but it is an amazing set. And if you were a Herschell Gordon Lewis diehard fan, oh really, dude, I would love to visit that. I had to visit your city, Sasha, because I watched those things, the young ones and Only Fools and Horses, which was fantastic. So I just take this out for people that have never seen it. So they do it in like they set it up in a kind of a year thing. So the first one goes from 1963 to 1967, and I do love the way this one's done. So it's done much like a book with Blood Feast and Scum of the Earth. Blood Feast, of course, being one of his more famous films. I guess his most famous film is probably 2000 Maniacs. So like, yeehaw! And we get like 2000 Maniacs, the kind of the Blu-ray and the DVD, and we also get like probably one of his lesser-known films, which is Moonshine Mountain. I think it is pretty much like his. Well, the only thing missing, Isaac, would be his three or four. He did like some earlier kind of like light sexploitation type of films. If you want to get his complete like his complete filmography, then you get this set here, and then go over to Vinegar Syndrome, and get the kind of the early collected works of Herschell Gordon Lewis. And I think it's like 2 or 3 films that he did earlier on. But these are these are his horror and like other the ones once he started doing the style of stuff. These aren't all horror though. These are some. You got the fun stuff like Color Me Blood Red and Something Weird, which The Gruesome Twosome and A Taste of Blood. So this is from 1963, 1967. So I think with the Vinegar Syndrome set, Isaac, you should have them all. So it's actually pretty, and that set is actually pretty inexpensive. So it's really easy to get the complete filmography of Herschell Gordon Lewis. The only thing that I'm not sure if Blood Feast 2, there was a Blood Feast 2, right? That probably will be something you want to look into. And I think Arrow put that one as well. She-Devil on Wheels, Just for the Hell of It, just like fun stuff. How to Make a Doll, and The Wizard of Gore. Look at your hands, look at your hands. But what's really neat is what they did with the book. Bottom. Oh, nice. Now, in Canada and in the UK. I don't think so much in the United States. I don't really know. We had like annuals. We'd have like a Canadian children's annual, but in the UK they had like a lot of annuals. Like they have annuals for like for different things, like Beano annual and you know, a lot of stuff like that. So this is a Herschel Gordon Lewis like book that's done to look like an annual. It's extremely like well done. It's got like a comic book with Scum of the Earth. It literally has like a how to make a doll paper doll in here. It's got some gore stuff in here, which you'll like, Corey, from some of the different films, and just some really fun kind of like just cheesy stuff. Guest House Paradiso. I was trying to remember. And before I get into the biggest of the big league sets, I guess there's one kind of TV one that I should mention that definitely deserves a look on this list, and that is the Batman 66 series set. This was an incredible set that came out. It really did well for the, you know, it's not a film set, but I think it deserves like a look here. And it has like all the seasons of the show. Oh, thanks. It has like the Batman, like this isn't like playing cards. These are actually like the Batman like cards from the old days. And it has like one of the, that's the Batmobile down there as well. Kind of comes together kind of magnetically. And I won't do it because I don't want to get hit with copyright issues, but there is like a button on there for playing the Batman theme song. You can na-na-na-na-na in your head, actually. Which one, the Batman release? They put them out like, I think, separately, like later on. And they're, you know, for people that just wanted to grab like them on their own. You can actually get them, you know, they're not, you can get them without like the bells and whistles. I just got them on what's it? I think it was like not Black Friday, but Boxing Day here. I was at Best Buy, and they actually let the yeah, there is a smaller set, like a little, like it's kind of like it's more like along the lines of like what you'd see this, right? So it's a Batman set, but it's kind of along like the this type of you know, this type of casing. And I think I saw that recently at Walmart. So if you go to if you, I don't know if you go to Walmart now, but if you go to Walmart, I think it's there, and I think it's like $45, $45, something somewhere around that. So it's actually reasonably priced for the entire Batman series. I'm not quite sure how much it is on Amazon right now, though. It might be cheaper. Okay. The by far and large, this is at this point in time probably the most well put together, heavily researched box set that I've ever seen. And it is it's huge, much like the Herschell Gordon Lewis set is. Isn't it weird that we'd have Herschell Gordon Lewis and Ingmar Bergman, and they'd have similar sized box sets? It is amazing, Isaac. Just the amount of work and dedication put into something like this can't. There's no way I can actually kind of really put that into words. It's incredible. Hey, they're tough, man. The not the fact that they could have just put out a Bergman set. They could have just put the films together and put them out. You put out the Blu-rays, put out the ones on DVD that are DVDs, but paper doll, right? That's how it is. But they didn't. What they did with this set was they give you 39 Bergman films, pretty much all of the big Bergman films, and even some of the ones that aren't. And that's the thing, it's not, obviously it's not everybody's cup of tea, but this set might actually convert you. I don't have the General Lens set, 13 Wolfman. I wish I did, because that is a really good set. That's the one that Redemption put out. I don't have it. But I'm going to open it up, and you'll kind of see what I mean. They don't go, they could have just lazily put it together and said, okay, this year, this year, this year, this year, and this year. And you could have done it like that. You could have just like watched it chronologically right on through. And you can still do that, because all the movies are there to watch it chronologically. But you know what they did? What they actually did, I don't actually, they curated it. So they did the Bergman set as if you were going to watch a Bergman film festival. They put it together thematically. So as in a way to, especially if you haven't watched much Bergman before, it is a great way to watch the films. You can watch them chronologically to see the progression of the artist, like in a chronological manner, or you can watch it curated as like a film, like a Bergman film festival, and see kind of like thematic parallels that will go on throughout his career, and like would really come to surface in a lot of different films. And they gave us this book, which is literally a coffee table size book to go with it. It goes through it, and it does it like exactly like you would think. There's like readings to go along with each of the films, and it's done in the order. Like, for instance, there's Centerpieces 1, The Wages of Intimacy. The book is a great read to go along with this. If you find Bergman like maybe a little daunting, it is right. It is a film school in a box, and that is a genius way to have done this. I've often called Criterion like discs film schools in a box, and he literally like made took that literally and actually did that, the film school in a box. Like a spine artist. Well, it's kind of hard to do in one set, but is Bergman my favorite director? Actually, he's not my favorite director, though he's quickly like going up there, because I had seen a lot of Bergman, but I had not. When I got this set, I realized there's a lot of Bergman that I hadn't seen, or there's a lot of versions of Bergman films that I hadn't seen as well. Even a passing like somebody with a passing interest in Bergman, but an interest in like in film studies would find this set to be extremely interesting for that as well. Yeah, exactly. By Vinegar Syndrome. Not very far. Not very far at all, actually. Because I've been waiting. Yeah, no, when the couple of them there are put on like, but they are on Blu-rays as opposed to like some of them that were out on DVD or some that like kind of a. Now this one, I don't think this is. I don't think this one is going to be like. I don't think they're limiting this one as such. They go out of like they go to stock like. And I guess after a while, much like they did with the Kurosawa set, there's only going to be so much that they're going to make. But as far as I know, they're not limiting like the number of on the set, and that's a good thing. So let's everybody else. No, actually not at all. That's one of the common misconceptions, Murdersville, is that like every Bergman film is like that type of thing, and if that kind of like. Is it going to be like heavy or deep or like everything is going to be the Seventh Seal, but there's definitely like a lot of lighter like Bergman films. Summer with Monica stands out, or Summer Interlude. Some of the earlier stuff, or what's the name of the one that I watched? That definitely. Yeah, exactly. He has people think of Bergman. And they usually think of like what people are, the famous stuff, like the Max von Sydow, the chess match with death and stuff. Which, if you get, you mean on this? Did you get the set, Jesse, or are you just like thinking about like buying a Bergman, like buying Bergman film to see if you want the set? If you're getting the set and you've never watched a Bergman film before, I recommend that you do it the curated way. So if you had the set, I'd say go the curated way. If you want to go with something like for a lot of Bergman fans, like they'll say something like The Seventh Seal. I do think that it's a great film. It can be a bit heady for some people, and like just start out with Small on a Summer's Night is a great comedy, and that's probably a really great starting point. It's a lighter one to go with. You can dive deep and go with like Fanny and Alexander, which was one of his favorite films that Bergman made himself. But something like that would be like pretty good. The Virgin Spring, yeah, that's also a really good choice. Hour of the Wolf, horror, and the Virgin Spring actually, it inspired. So well, inspired. But yes, this set here, and I'll just show you guys the. It's definitely probably my favorite set that I have in my collection right now, and somebody you just said that Fellini's birthday, 100th birthday, is next year, because oh man, I would so buy that. I'm a huge Fellini fan. I'm probably say I'm even more of a Fellini fan than I am. I saw a feature of the Virgin Spring, Last House on the Left. Actually, although I know you're joking, that actually works. They're all exclusive to this. Now, I don't know if there's any. I don't know what's exclusive to this set, to be totally honest with you. And so it's done. I do think they're well. I think that this was the template. This was the testing to see how this set would go over. The fact that this set sold out so quickly and they've been selling it at a rapid pace, I think that we're going to see more of these come from them, and hopefully they'll stick with the curated way that they did this set. We'll love to see an Akira Kurosawa set come out. They did like a DVD edition like earlier on of a Kurosawa, but the Blu-ray edition, like Isaac just said, that would sell out. That would be gone right away. I would be one of the people. That would be a day one for me. Fellini, I think that's going to be another one that they could look into as well, because they do have a few Fellini films. But Akira Kurosawa set, can you imagine that? Because they've got a lot of Kurosawa. They got a lot. They got the early stuff. They got Seven Samurai was one of the first Criterion DVD releases that they did. Hidden Fortress, High and Low. Just a tremendous amount of stuff. Got a phone call there. Can't answer that right now. But that's my phone ringing. I do not recognize the number right now. So, it's not giving me the option to just like... Okay, there we go. Yeah, definitely. I recommend nah, actually, I'm not a phone person. You like text me? That's good. You wouldn't think that because I don't shut up here, but but I do recommend it. I mean, my birthday was coming up. My better half got me this set for my birthday. Criterion had a flash sale, and this set was on like at half price. And I didn't think I was going to get it because I knew my better half. She said she'd already gotten me my presents, right? And so I texted her and I said, there's a Criterion flash sale. And she said, no. I said, I got your presents. I can't afford that right now, so don't even think about it. Little did I know that she had literally just ordered this set minutes before I texted her. So I have an amazing one. You guys are having like a whole Hitchcock conversation, which reminds me, I've got a Hitchcock set why did I not bring that over? Because that definitely belongs in the in the great sets of all time. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the thing, Sasha, is that like they did with the Seer, they can upgrade those ran right now. It's got a DVD release, but with if they were to do like a Kurosawa set, like much like they do with these here, they can upgrade it to Blu-ray and even add more features and stuff on there. Kajimusha, Isaac, is my is the first film by Kurosawa or Bond exactly that my better half ever saw, and that's what made her fall in love with the films of Akira Kurosawa. So I'm just going to go over there, not very far, and I'll be right back. Stay. It's expensive. The opera set is like $49 for like a 3-disc set. I love the movie opera. I really, really do. But I don't know if I can actually can afford it. So what would you do, Sasha? Like if they put it like this big Kurosawa set with like a big like coffee table book and the upgrade, the DVDs, the Blu-ray, that would be like that's it's tempting then. That's the thing, right? I got a lot of I got most of the Argento films, but if like next week, like Arrow announced they were going to redo like put all the Argento films in a big set with a huge Argento book, I'd have to get it. But yeah, it is like the opera. I'm a huge fan of opera. I've got like the DVD, the old like Arrow films DVD that came out back in the day in the early days of Arrow, but it's way too pricey for me right now, unfortunately. One film that definitely deserved it, the box set that I got, and this is only the DVD one. This is not the Blu-ray one, as you can tell right there, is Blade Runner. But it was an epic set, so I did have to mention it. Yeah, you could always sell them when you got. That's the thing. And as they're Criterion, so you can probably sell them for a decent price. So I don't even have to open this. This is everything that's in this set, and it was amazingly well done. You have to put Dracula 3D in it, and it's got to be in real 3D, so I can actually watch it on my TV upstairs. Montgomery Clift, Isaac, is an actor that unfortunately does not get the credit that he deserves. Oh no, the good thing, 13 Wolfman, is that I only had one Bergman film at all in my collection ever before this. I kept putting them in my cart, but the only Bergman film I had was Magic Flute on VHS. So for me, getting the Bergman set was, I wasn't even having like, to think about, oh, well, I'm not double dipping. It's a director that I really wanted to get into, and I never bothered to buy his films like most of them I'd seen back in the VHS days, not even on DVD. So me going into Bergman now is like going in new. It's fantastic, and I get to like, and me, I'm a big geek. I like to study film, so for me it's perfect. I never did get to go to film school, but you didn't buy My Summer with Monica? I like that one actually. Well, there's always going to be like some that aren't going to be of it. Do you have the Avengers film box set briefcase thing? I don't actually. Jesse, not dumb questions. Never dumb questions. Except the other day we had like some dumb questions. But I do love the Avengers. I got the Avengers TV series. You can't do like a. Oh yeah, no. There's so many times that I was going to pick him up. Like, I mean, from the Through Glass Darkly set to like the. There were so many of them that I was going to grab. I'm glad I did now though. Can't mention like epic box sets without mentioning the Bond 50 set. If you're at all a fan of this franchise, this is definitely a way to get it. There is like a smaller, kind of like more compact set that you can get. This is my favorite way to get it. The neat thing is it just opens up like this here. I didn't get the ring set from Arrow. Is it still available? I'm getting some birthday money coming soon, so I'm trying to decide, should I get the Hemisphere Horror box set? Should I get the Ring set? Should I get the Jose Larraz set? It's really, really, really hard to kind of decide. Because when funds get limited, and I just had to buy Mike's Corman Gothic Tale set. That's right. That's behind me. I can actually show you that one afterwards. I know it's sold out from Arrow Livens, but I'm not quite sure if it's sold out from Amazon yet. Often Arrow will sell out themselves. The 4 DVD sets that were out were incredible. I love those. I wish I still had them. I did keep the books that went with them, the booklets, and I sold off the sets. Though I regret it, and if I ever see the sets again, I would buy them just to have the DVD sets with me as well. This is the first, and I love the fact that they have the Bond girl right by each of the films. If you've never watched any of these films, and I'm sure everybody here has watched the Bond films, or any of these, the features on these are incredible. They're like some of the best features that you're going to imagine. This is my personal favorite James Bond film, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I once had somebody tell me I was insane for letting that one be my favorite, but I guess I'll stay insane. Next up is Something, Jose. That looks like a really good set, and I watched the trailer to one of the films, and it looks amazing. I haven't heard anything for the June releases yet. Favorite Bond girl? That's a good question. I don't even, and I know me. I don't think me and Jace actually mentioned who our favorite Bond girl was when we did the stream either. Jace's birthday was yesterday, by the way, guys. If you've ever seen Jace on here, or you saw the stream we did about James Bond, his birthday was yesterday. His birthday. He's an Aries like me. Whoops. Yeah. I don't know. I'm there's a lot of Bond girls that I like. I do have a soft spot for Tracy. Luciani Polizzi. He said predictably. You mentioned her. She was in a movie that Jail St. John. I really, it's hard. I don't know. I think Tracy's the most iconic, but you know, but as for the best Bond girl, she's not the best Bond girl. It's hard. I don't know. You've stumped me. I'll figure it out. I'll be on another video like by the way, now I know my best Bond girl. I looked into it. The Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection is something that I do think does belong in everybody's collection as well. This one, I think was actually pretty decently priced in the UK, if I remember. Was a bit more pricey here. I know when I got this one it was for Christmas, and it was like super. It was super pricey back then. Denise Richards, everybody's favorite Bond girl. I don't think she's that bad. I do like, as a Bond girl and as a villain, Sophie Marceau. Really, really like Sophie Marceau, and I think that she's definitely underrated. Christmas Jones. So this is the book that comes with the sets booklet, and it goes through. It doesn't have all the. It's if you're a completist, this is not going to have every one of the Alfred Hitchcock's films, but it has some of his best, including what is my favorite Alfred Hitchcock film. It's right here. It's Shadow of a Doubt. Joseph Cotton, Teresa Wright. Again, Donald Carey's in this one. This was the first Hitchcock movie that I ever owned as well. I actually got it when in one of those in Columbia House, the VHS Club. I wish I could consider Monica Bellucci my favorite Bond girl. Unfortunately, I didn't give her any time in the damn movie. It was a shame. It has rope. I love the way the set is done, by the way. It looks gorgeous, which is a very interesting film. Rear Window. Monica Bellucci. She will always be. Trouble with Harry, which is kind of a more humorous, like Hitchcock film. All his films have humor, but this one like really goes into it. There is the second, The Man Who Knew Too Much. Not my favorite of the Man Who Knew Too Much. The first one's actually the better one, but in my opinion, some of these got. One thing about the set, I'm glad it's in Blu-ray because these things slide a bit sometimes. Vertigo, I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite. Like a lot of people like really love Vertigo. Stranger on Train is one of my favorite films. Like, forget like just Hitchcock's. It's definitely a favorite of mine. Same as like Shadow and Stranger on Train are almost on like super on the same side. North by Northwest is on here. Now Stranger on Train is not in the set because of course it's from a different company. Psycho. Yeah, you're the one that loves Vertigo. See, I like Vertigo. The ending, man, the ending. It's the one time that I think, maybe Brian De Palma did a little bit better with Obsession. I know, sacrilege. But that was the thought. The Birds. Bloody hell, all these were getting slid down. Marnie, definitely not one of his more famous films. Torn Curtain. Topaz. I'm a really big fan of the Palm. You know that already. Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy. I really love Frenzy. This is one that I would offend a lot. Charlie, how's your favorite? My dad actually has the kind of the black kind of velvety looking Hitchcock one. And this is, of course, his last film, Family Plot. And dun 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 dun. Like Peeping Tom better than Psycho? So do I. I'm a huge fan of Peeping Tom. Family Plot gets maligned a lot. It really shouldn't. It's a much better film than people give it credit for. But let me bring you over here. Obviously, there is other amazing box sets. There are things like the Jacques Demy set, which are a Criterion fan. If you're a fan of Jacques Demy, definitely recommend it. As you can see, Arrow and Indicator have done a ton of really, really good stuff. Tati, I gotta get the Tati set. I've only got the DVD edition of Tati, and that came from like BFI, which was still a pretty good one. Things like that I didn't mention, but on air is the Vincent Price 6 Gothic Tales set, which I think is a classic, and the Hellraiser set, Scarlet Box, which I'm super proud of getting. And if you want to get like a really good film on its own, well, it came with an extra film actually. It's With No Eye. They put out like 2 editions of this. Collect Indicator. Like their sets are definitely incredibly well done. Upstairs, I do have the other 2 Indicator sets. Hitchcock's worst film? I don't know. What do you think, guys? What's Hitchcock's worst film? You guys seem to be having a bit of Hitchcock talk here today. I don't know if there's movies that didn't resonate with me, but like Farmer's Wife. I don't even remember The Farmer's Wife. That's one of the really early ones, right? The silent one. The way I see it is that, oh, definitely, and I do have a few of the gangsters and the noir sets over there as well. But think of this as like the primer, the start to collecting some of the greatest box sets of all time. I do recommend if you are if you're a cinephile, if You want to study cinema, and the Bergman set is worth the investment. It really is. The Herschell Gordon Lewis set too is it's a contrast in different ways. Uh, there's the Bond set is for anybody that likes Bond at all, that definitely grab that. The Hitchcock set, those are things that what was the box set behind the Jacques Demy set? Jean Renoir. Well, no, I think it's like it has Whirlpool of Fate, Nana, of course, Charleston Parade, The Little Match Girl, La Marcelle's, I totally pronounced it wrong, The Doctor Horrible Experiment, The Elusive Corporal, and some like features stuff on it. So this was put up by Studio Canal. Oh, this is the one you thought was John Rollin. Well, you got the first name, and the initials are right. I would love to have a John Rollin set. Is there a clapboard John Rollin set? The only one I know for is like the vampire one that was put out by Redemption, which I really want to get. Oh, me too. That's one of the things I expect an announcement on soon. Is the American Horror Project Volume 2. I was a big fan of the first one. It was put out by Studio Canal, and I was actually at a gaming shop, and they have like a bunch of films there, and I stumbled upon that one. Yeah, Warlock. I think they said that the announcement is coming around when's Texas Frightmare? I heard it was going to be coming around Texas Frightmare time. I'm not quite sure if that's correct or not, but that was the rumor, right? I really don't know, to be totally honest, about that set, if it's out of print or not. Maybe somebody here can that's typing faster with Google. Vinegar Syndrome sets in October. I wonder what that's going to be. I mean, if you've been on YouTube, if you've been on Google today, then and you've gone to the Vinegar Syndrome site, you probably noticed that the page is down because they're getting their new website ready, and it'll be interesting to see what's going to pop up once that new website comes up. I'm very intrigued. I've got like a couple Vinegar Syndromes coming my way, one of which I'm going to be hopefully in the future talking about on Just the Disc with Brian. A couple weeks away, guys, and our second episode drops on Vinegar Syndrome titles, so hopefully you guys listen to that. Maybe some Andy Milligan. Yep, it's either going to be Kurosawa or Fellini. That's going to be the next set, for sure. Watson, I didn't, but you know what? I literally had that in my hand up in Ontario. I have Fleshpot coming, actually. I had it in my hand. And it was $20, $19.99, like less than $20. No word of a lie. I said, I got to go back and get this. I had to go meet up with my better half. We were going somewhere. And I forgot about it. I forgot about it afterwards. So I had to I got to let my cousin know that if he goes into the area that it is, because it was up in Toronto, up in at the shop, what was it called? At my favorite shop, actually, Bay Street Video. If it's still there, to get him to pick it up for me, and I'll pay him for it. Get him to send it out to me, because it's a really cool I like, especially after getting the Mondo thing from from Severn. I would love to get that set. There's a B-movie. What's it called? Do you have a link to it? Can you link it in like the comment section down below? Because I definitely look at it. I love that type of stuff. I've only got a few Fellini in my collection, so I'd be okay with it. Yeah, I know. I heard. I was going to go to Queen Street on when I was up in Toronto, but I didn't get there, and it's a shame because I would have loved to have gone there and seen it. And Bay Street actually did like sorry to see them go type of thing. anytime a physical media store goes down now, especially, it's a tragic loss for us collectors. And that's why I say, it's great to find things online to get deals and all that type of stuff. But if you have like a place, a store in your hometown that's going out of its way to bring in stuff, sometimes it can be a little bit pricier. But every once in a while, like if you can do it, you know, go buy something from there. Like if you're in Toronto, if you're in the Toronto area, Bay Street Video stuff is super comparable to not to yet no. Is super comparable to the stuff that you see on Amazon or any of that. They've got great prices. Definitely like go in there, buy some stuff from them. I super supported them when I was there. That sucks, Isaac. Hopefully you got like at least a FOP or something that's kind of close by. I love HMV. I prefer FOP out of the two of them. I used to go to Covington Gardens, as I mentioned on here many times. That's the one that when I was up in London, I would go there. Sadly, the HMV that I used to go to up in London when I was there for the short time that I was there is is going to be like is going to be gone too. Oh, Ozzy, are you close to Queen Street? Kazan, like Ilya Kazan? That I would actually be interested in. But as you guys know from now, there really isn't a type of cinema that I'm not interested in. It's really strange. Oh, HMV, okay. Um, so Isaac, how come you have not bought me any of those like HMV premium editions? What do they call those cool ones? They put them out. Um, I would love to get up there for something like that. Though it doesn't look like I'm going to get to London anytime soon. Um, I really like London is a place that I've got to go back to. I love London. I love visiting there. But yes, definitely, guys, I 100% recommend like supporting your local brick and mortar media stores. Closing end of April. I wish I could get there for something like that. 5 to 8 FOPs. So you better keep open the Covenant Gardens one, or I will find the people that bought that and I will kick their ass. Because I would do that. Uh, Means a lot to me. But yeah, Queen Street Video. If you guys are close by, definitely check it out. Really? Uh, See, maybe it's where you're like UK based. Uh, but I'm a huge fan of like if I look at editions, and I usually go for like the UK edition over like the North American edition, unless like there's something really different. Like I'll tell you one place where the UK edition was far superior when Arrow put out the Decalogue set, like Criterion are doing. Oh yes, I am. I'm going to do a complete slasher studio stream actually. So if you so do you know if you know the guys from Slasher Studios, like in all seriousness, when I put it up, definitely let them know. Um, because I'm dedicating a weekend to like watching the Slasher Studio stuff, and then like to be able to talk because I want to just talk about one. I wanted to like to go into all three of them, and like go into watch the movies, watch the features, that type of stuff. And I'm probably going to watch the Dismembering like Christmas one twice because I do want to watch it on VHS and get the kind of feel back as well. I'm actually really excited that there's a VHS copy out there too. Yeah, Warlock actually mentioned that. Definitely mention that, guys. There is a new 88 Films Indiegogo project on the go right now. It's to support the restoration and bringing out of like of a new well, not new but new to many people like and me included probably a new Joe D'Amato and Lucio Fulci film that have not been released and have never been on Blu-ray, and I don't think either one of them were on DVD, at least not in not not as far as my knowledge is concerned. But thanks Isaac, thanks everybody, and un- unfortunately I also have to go, but for good reasons. Weather permitted, I will be jumping on, not jumping on, because I'll fall down. But oh God, it's such a dad joke, isn't it? I'll be going on the ferry to go across to Corner Brook, which is my hometown, and my dad doesn't know that yet. But if he's watching this video, he knows it now. So, thank you guys for coming in. I got to put all these movies back. Oh my God, and then I have to go do some laundry and then pack, because fun stuff. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming in here today. Make sure to check out the 88 Films Indiegogo thing that's going on if you're interested in that. I got some videos coming up soon. Once I get back, I will be doing the Slasher Studios one. So guys, keep an eye out for that one. That's gonna be a really, really fun one. Support your local brick and mortar store. Also, In Search of Darkness, the 80s documentary, that's still being funded, I think, and that one's going to be coming to a head around March the 31st. You think they would give me some? I mentioned all this stuff. Do I ever get anything? No, they never send me anything. Oh, cool, perfect. I will check my email then. Thanks, guys, and you have a great evening. I'm Aaron. You guys are the Movie Club. You guys rock it. You guys make this. You make as awesome as it is, and because I'm blabbering. Z level movie video. That's a good one too. I'm gonna actually write that down. Things is gonna be on that list. Warlock. Spoiler alert. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon here in the Movie Club.